Right, let's get this show on the road then. I figured I might as well cover this one because, well, I pulled an all-nighter, so screw it, I guess. I guess we're doing this now. We'll see how this goes. We'll see how tired me can handle this. It might end early, who knows. What's happening? What's popping? What's good? We're covering the game today. I think this one's going to be a pretty interesting one on paper, especially given the results of yesterday as well. For those that haven't seen, obviously Hearts managed to get the job done quite comfortably against Derek McInnes's former side. So quite realistically, we need to win this one. That's about as easy as I can say it. We basically have to win. There is no like middle ground. We kind of have to go. We have to get 3 points. It's going to be a bit more difficult because we've obviously lost one of our key men to injuries, which is just, it's always a lovely thing, especially at this stage in the season where everything gets a bit tense, but nonetheless, hello to everyone that's in early. I'm not sure if maybe the feed isn't coming through. This happened with the last one or two streams as well, so just need to give maybe 5 or 10 minutes and hopefully it will kind of pick up speed. But for those that are in here early, hello, hope you're having a lovely weekend and just a good week in general. We've got an interesting one today. We've got about 5 or 10 minutes before kick-off, so we've got a little bit of time to actually go through all the things that we need to go through. So let me just pull all that up relatively quickly, because like I said, it's a pretty important game. You can have a little look at the table as soon as we switch over to this screen, but here you go. That's how it stands. Obviously, Hearts' win against Kelly yesterday, as previously aforementioned, means that they are 5 points clear. So regardless, we can't catch them today, but we can at least somewhat keep pace. We would have to obviously win against Dundee to do so. We haven't scored too many goals, so the prediction isn't necessarily as high as it usually tends to be with these types of games. I think it might be a little bit more close to home, but I think we should have just about enough to get the job done. Obviously, the kind of key point is that we're going to be missing Maeda today. He's obviously out with the bruised knee still. And obviously, we're still lacking a couple of key starters in Johnston and Jota as well. So it's not exactly the best squad you could hope to see for these types of games. But nonetheless, it's a good enough side to potentially get the job done. But we'll start with Dundee's side first because, like I said, they have a weird formation, but one that's appreciated at the very least in today's game. It's not exactly the worst side you could actually look at. They're just not really picking up results in a lot of instances. But McCracken is in between the sticks for them. Of course, Astley and Graham start either side, and Robertson in between in the middle. Of course, Hamilton and Digby, the kind of two key midfielders to kind of keep an eye out for, but I think it will be more or less being played through Hamilton. Digby's more of a kind of touch and roll it on type of player, so he's not going to necessarily be too impactful, but hopefully the midfielders on our side can keep them quiet. Obviously, Wright and Samuel start either side, with Congreve and Wesley playing up front towards the wing end, and of course Simon Murray starts as their solo striker in between the both of them. For us, it's a little bit different. Like I said, with the kind of limited options that we've got, Yang's the one that's been called in to replace in this one. So like I said, no Maeda. Yang comes in for him and Iacho and Tunic to keep their positions, which is always nice to see. How you doing, Em? Yeah, it's nice to see you, mate. Oh Jesus, that's you think you've got a cold? Well, I mean, I'll do my best to make it at least a little bit entertaining for you, brother. I hope you're well. I'll try and keep yourself warm in these types of conditions, man. It's never good. Scottish weather always gets a lot worse at this time of year. But for the rest of the team, I like the way that we've shaped up. It's probably as good as you could ask it to be. Rio starting on the left, Nikan starting on the right, McGregor in between in the middle. You can make a case, obviously, McCowan could have started in this game against his former side, but nonetheless, it is what it is. I don't mind it necessarily too much. Tierney and Ralston, two Scottish fullbacks starting either side respectively, and of course Scales, Carter, Vickers and Schmeichel, that familiar combination that we're so used to seeing. Don't know what Sinisalo needs to do to get a game, quite honestly, but nonetheless, I mean, it's going to be an interesting one to see what happens when a shot goes away, if a shot goes away, because again, it's not really keeping goals out that's been the problem, it's been actually getting goals in. We've had a few pretty stale ass performances, and I mean, to be fair, the last few in the league haven't been particularly all that impressive. Like I said, when you look at the stats, we haven't really scored that many goals, 11. It's about the same as Kilmarnock, and you see where they are in terms of points. So in terms of getting it into the net, we need to pick that up in form. Hearts have got 19 at this point. We're still tracking behind by a good amount, and that's not usually standard for Celtic scripture. So hopefully today it's a bit more of a straightforward performance and we can get something on the board. That is the minimum. We want the 3 points, that's kind of obvious, but again, it's it's not ever set in stone. Like I said, Dundee are not exactly well positioned. They are very much not performing right now at this stage in the season, but like I said, they can be a team that can cause surprises. They can frustrate and maybe play for a very annoying draw, which would not be particularly nice, but nonetheless, it is what it is. The boys are in the tunnel and getting ready to come out there now, so realistically, we can get ready to actually focus up on the game. We'll read out the lineups one last time when they do so here. Let me kind of keep the table up so you can get a little glance at that, because like I said, circumstances are important. Rangers did draw again yesterday though. I suppose that is a kind of footnote to add on. How you doing, Neil? Nice to see you, mate. Your prediction is 4-0 Celtic. I like that, it's bold. I was kind of tossed up between that and 2-0, but then I remember we don't score goals, so I've gone with 2-0 because we're down Maeda. Realistically, it's going to be an interesting one to see if any actual works well with that kind of different approach with Yang on that right hand side, because it means a lot more crosses might get into him, which is always a positive. It could always be something nice to see, but of course there is that kind of slight problem of the fact that Yang isn't very much good at cutting in. So again, it's going to be a case of where do the chances come from? Is there going to be a lot of hold up in that midfield, which again is why I thought McCowan would have been a starter for this one, at least for Nygren, if not for McGregor. But again, I can understand the reasoning. Nygren has been on form relatively in comparison to the rest of the midfielders this season, and McGregor is a skipper, so hard to kind of make that case. But again, you want to see some tweaks and changes. I really thought Sinisalo would have got the nod for this one, but nonetheless, that's what we're going with. So can't really fault it too much. Nice to see you first, Scummy. Hail, hail to you as well. Well, as a locking out, we'll get the lineups read for you one last time for those that are just joining us, or those that have been in here and just missed it. For Dundee, it's McCracken in between the sticks. Graham, Ashley and Robertson are their centre-back pairings, with Wright and Samuels playing as their false wing-backs, if you want to consider them that. Technically they're left and rights, but we all know that it's not. It's left wing-back, right wing-back. They're going to be sitting a little bit deeper when they have to. Digby and Hamilton start in between the middle of them, however, with Simon Murray being their anchor point up front. Of course, Wesley and Congreve start either side. On the wings for Celtic, it's pretty straightforward. It's Schmeichel in between the sticks, Scales and Carter Vickers. Tierney and Ralston, pretty much as standard in the scripture as you could probably want it to be. The only case is that Sirachi doesn't get his start from the last match. Rio, McGregor and Nygren are a kind of midfield three. Like I said, you could have made the case for McCowan to start this. They're doing the show races and the red card thing now. Very cool, but I am reading out lineups. Yang starts on the right hand side, Tenekte on the left, and of course Iniachu, who has been pretty much as solid as you could ask a striker to be that's came in on an emergency situation. If you want a little look at the bench, there are some options that we can rely on. Obviously, Barawisha on the bench is a good shout. McCowan, Kenny, you could make a case for him as well. Of course, Sirachi, should we need him, probably will need him later in the game. And of course, in jails if things get a little bit dicey in the midfield and we're just looking for a different approach to go with. It's going to be a good game. I really hope so anyway. I mean, that's the kind of bare minimum that we would hope to see. But like I said, a couple of key players for them that they're talking about obviously seems to be that Joe Wesley's kind of the anchor point with a lot of their attacks from what they're saying, so that's going to be an interesting one to see how it develops. But for us, it's just about doing the basics, making sure that there's no bullshit. We get the win, and that's good enough for me. Like I'm not going to sit here and expect, you know, the golden stuff. I'm not going to sit here and expect us to run away 6-7-0. Not happening, even in the best of circumstances. I'll be happy with the 2-0. That's if we play at some relative decent speed, you know, like third, fourth gear maybe. I just want to see something that isn't stale side to side shite for 70 minutes before we panic and start trying in the last 20 when it doesn't necessarily matter. And again, teams like Dundee, when they realise they can probably play for the point, they will absolutely will play for the point. So we'll do that, switch over to this, make sure that's all good, and hopefully things are working as intended. We might be a few minutes delayed, that's my bad. Give this a little refresh just to make sure. Well, it can't be, yeah, probably not for too far behind them. Any kind of win they'll take next week is looking shonky. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, yeah, let's be fully honest, it's not exactly promising when it comes to the consideration of what we've got to go through. Obviously the game against Sturm Graz is massive for a ton of reasons, right? We all kind of know the circumstances and that one, self-explanatory. If we don't win, then, well, it's going to be very problematic to see us doing anything in the Europa League group stages at all after that point, especially considering the fact you've had some relatively easy games to grab points in. We'll give us a refresh because we are officially underway. Hopefully there is some half decent football to be played. It's the least we can hope for. We'll keep the stats page up because that's the one you'll probably want to see the most. At least you can get a look at the shots, goals and possession, that type of beat. But hopefully a half decent performance first. That's all we can really ask for. As Dundee got the ball rolling, and hopefully it's not too often in their possession. That'd be the nicest thing I can hope to see from this at the very least. And again, I do apologise. I'm not going to be as high octane or as high energy because I did pull an all-nighter to do this. So anyone that's here is appreciated. There's a bunch of shit getting thrown on the pitch immediately, which is not a good sign. But again, it makes sense for the protests. Your strategy. I can't see what I'm pretty sure the word incompetence is in there. The cameras are doing all they can to cut away from it. It's not the smartest thing to do, but this was planned apparently, so we're just going to have to bear with it. It's fun. The board members are not happy, but then again, that's what you get for being stingy bastards. You have to take it on the chin. I don't know how everyone else will probably be reacting to this type of scenario, but realistically I think at least the core, the Green Brigade, the ones that pay a good amount of money for their season tickets, have every right to bitch about it in a lot of aspects. It has been very stale for a long time and they like to make it clear, and do not blame them in the goddamn slightest. But it probably means we'll need to take an extra 5 or 10 minutes before we're ready to play this game on. There will be a few added minutes in the first half here, and imagine just based off of that alone. So while that's happening, how's your weekends been? How's things going? Or have you done anything cool? Have you achieved any new goals? Anything of the sort? What have a consortium group brought Celtic? The fan supporters even. Well, I wouldn't do it with celebrities because there's never really too many success stories with that. Wrexham being the exception, but that's because they literally invested for numerous seasons to get to where they were. Consortiums are hit and miss. Of course you can take some good examples, but there's obviously a lot of bad ones that go with that. Just look across the city if you want an answer for that. The fan group, maybe, sure, if the money's there, but it's a case of who do you pick out of those fans to represent the actual decision making and the key kind of, boardroom decisions. Who do you put in? It's an interesting one for sure. Again, I don't think it's a case of necessarily sacking the full board, but there's one or two members that definitely need to get their finger out their arse when it comes to certain decision making capabilities, because I mean it's not just affecting us, it's affecting the entire league in general, because it's not a good look for the league if you've got two of your top teams that are usually consistently in a two-horse race both having miserable seasons in terms of just morality. Right, Rangers are basically dead in the dust and we're only 7 games in. It's highly unlikely they're going to be able to catch Celtic or Hearts at the end of the season, and that's if they get going now. And for Celtic, obviously, it's the fact that we know we have much better capabilities and we're not achieving. We're definitely underachieving in comparison to what we were doing just even last season. And last season was still technically underachieving in a few ways. It was just doing what we usually do. God's wrath is kindled against the United Kingdom. Put that in a fucking shot, I'll wear it. Looks like we're going to have a drop ball situation. I think we're finally back on the way, which is nice. Took a little bit of time, but we got there in the end. Schmeichel ain't happy, he's still picking shit off the pitch. He's kind of begging some of the fans behind the goal, but there's a few cheers of support in there. I suppose that's alright as well. Your stepdad gave you a shit. I don't even want to continue with that, fair enough. I suppose the thing is, you'd love to know if supporters actually want to wish for what they would do if they had wealthy or rich investors. I think it would be an interesting one. That's a good clearance away for Carter Vickers. There was a slight bit of pressure on the immediate push-up for Dundee there. I think it was Graham that kind of popped the ball in and made it awkward. It still is. Murray's trying to make it hassle-worthy. Celtic doing a fair job to get out from the back to net. He should be dragged down for a foul there. He goes down looking for it and gets the foul. That's good enough for me. Decent. We'll take it. We're the best at any options. I mean, there's not too many. That's the issue. Again, the board would probably be willing to sell to the right buyer, but it's a case of finding the right buyer. You don't want some soulless American company that comes in and just completely dismantles it. At the very least, you want your board to be homegrown to some extent, right, or at least understand the fabrics of the club. It's good for Vickers again. Seems he's going to be the kind of kingpin of the defence. A lot of the stuff seems to look like it's going through him early doors. That's a good switch forward, actually, in fairness. Slight chase down, headed away by, it was Graham again. He seems to be involved a lot with the headers early doors. Ralston's got it on the throw-in just inside their half. And throws it just back across and calmly Vickers, who again just rotates out to Scales. Here's Tierney. Pretty sure that's his first touch on the ball. Dunekte plays it back to KT, calm enough. Hey Dan Rab, nice to see you, brother. Hope you're well. He'll help you as well. It's a good pass in behind. If there's a bit more pace on the chase down by Tierney, but the best they can kind of do is hustle Astley and try and get something out of it. Doesn't. So fair enough in that regard. Can't argue with that, brother. Can't argue with that. I just figured because there's razors that exist nowadays that literally prevent that. It's going to be interesting to see where this punt goes. It's high into the right, so there seems to be a knock-on effect maybe if Murray there doesn't quite win out. Scales wins the battle of the Gingers this time, fantastic. Good potential break forward. Dundee could actually be in behind here if they get the hustle going. They don't quite get it under control though, still dangerous and very much so. Almond just plays out to that far side, not taking too many chances with it. Digby calling for it in the middle, opts to go back and play it safe though. It's an interesting one. Robertson's going to have to go all the way back to his keeper. Calmly switches it forward. It's not exactly into any dangerous territory, it's more of a long, rushy type beat. Casper just gathers it on the other end and spreads out to his other fellow Strawberry Blonde. That's a decent pass. Should have gone inside there, KT, but instead lose it back to Scales. McGregor, after a 1-2 pass, gets it out towards Tierney again, and this time he does go inside. Good pass to Rio. Well laid off for Dunekte. Calm enough for the boys. It's not like they're shook or anything. They're playing very calm. Vickers seems very controlled. That was a good chase down on that far side though by Wesley. You can see what they're talking about. He seems to be a bit of a pace merchant now. Nearly put the pressure on CCV there, but calmly dealt with in the end. It's a good break forward for us. McGregor does well to skip away for his man. And this is what we're talking about, the left wing back, right wing back kind of setup, and it doesn't really matter because it's a poor giveaway for Rio, and McGregor's touch isn't necessarily all that much better. It'll be played back common off, and we can try and go again. Interesting. Not the worst, not the best. Early kickoffs always suck for these types of reasons, man. I kind of wish I went to bed at like 4, but I made the mistake of staying awake. Young tries to put the pressure on. I think that might just be a goal kick. I can respect the fact that he tried to body his man up, but don't think that was a battle he was ever really going to win. Right idea for Young. The run wasn't bad at all. It was well timed. They just couldn't really beat his man to it. So, right idea. Maybe just not the perfect execution. Slight positives to take at the very least. Well, McCracken's just going to thunder one up the pocket. I'd imagine he'll try and get it on the head of one of the front three. You'd maybe try and see a loop over. It seems to be the tactic they're going for. There is the loop over. It's an awkward touch. Still dangerous. Not exactly great or cleared away. It's still not cleared away. Out towards that far side again, and eventually they cut it back for Robertson to tee it up. Astley. Oh, could have been dangerous, but well dealt with. No risk taken there for Tierney, but it's still a throw into Dundee. No Maeda. Yeah, he's out injured. He got a bruised knee while on international duty. Kind of a shame, but it is what it is. He's only out for he's either he's very minor injury list, or we just didn't want to risk playing him in this particular game. Which makes sense, because when your star player that's literally known for his pace has a sore knee, you do not want to risk aggravating it if you can't help it. There's a half decent break forward for Dundee there. They don't really get too much on it. McGregor doesn't really do well there. That's going to be a free kick, or an advantage at the very least. Dundee ought to take the advantage. It's rare territory. Chance is dangerous. It's a pop shot at best there, and Celtic get it away. That is not exactly what you want to see, and like I said, it's that Wesley that timed his run very well. He just didn't really get hold of the shot. It's a brilliant dummy, you've got to be fucking honest. I think it was Murray that was up there with him. But I think it also threw Wesley off because he couldn't really just set his shot afterwards, and it was scuffed at best, let's say. But first real chance of the game, I have to say, goes Dundee's way. This seems to be the common theme of a Celtic side right now. We need to start making chances and stop losing the ball in dumb areas, and it seems like we're not really doing a great job of either. Do you think that we missed Jota? I think we missed basically anyone that's injured, or half decent. I think it's just kind of depressing because, like I said, we know what we're capable of. There's definitely a different gear, a few different gears to this side, but it's just not really happening right now for whatever reason. McCracken does well to just punt that one clear, doesn't take any risks with the chase down. Scales' header is confusing at best, let's say. Rather than popping it back into space, he just pops it out into space to the left, completely away from everybody else. It's a throw in on that far side. Wright's just going to play it back for Ashley. And Tom switches it back to McCracken. That's a slightly awkward touch. Could have been something there if any actual got, and it's just a little bit quicker there. It's a lovely touch for that Wesley again. Stands Carter Vickers up. Apparently he's either offside or there was a foul in there. I think it was offside. The first touch was genuinely lovely getting behind Carter Vickers, but I think either way he was going to get bodied up by the American. Dearn it. Scales. Switched out far side. Ralston. Cameron collected, rolls it back in for the skipper. It's not a bad pass out to that far side. It's all Scottish connection so far, but here it's a little nice addition into Nectar. Let's see where he goes with this one. Tries to take his man on, gets stepped. It's actually the right idea. It's a good half attempt to cross into the box, and it's cleared away by Dundee on a kind of technicality. Honestly, I don't think he was meaning to do that, but nonetheless, it's a corner kick for us. Maybe we can get a chance ourselves from this. It would be very nice. It's going to be Negrin that tees up to set it in here, and hopefully he can put some height on it, because that seems to be the thing that we're not doing enough of when it comes to set pieces. There's not enough dip. Oh, we're not even doing that. We're playing it kind of long and short out towards that far side to swing in, and it's just not anywhere near as threatening. It's kind of clipped away comfortably again by Dundee. Another set piece to come in. I don't mind seeing unique pass. I just didn't really see what the point in that one was. You had most of your tall men at the front post, and you decide to try and swing it to the far one. It's an interesting approach. It's a shot for range, which, I mean, let's be honest, just wasn't the fucking play for Rio, but I suppose it's a shot. We can count it. It's something, I guess. It was not necessarily near the target for really threatening at all. You feel like the keeper would have saved it comfortably if it was, but it's nice to see the players are still aware they can shoot for range. It's you know, something. It's a slight positive. Curious to see where this one ends up, because their goalkeeper and kicks have been very mixed. They've had one or two really good balls in behind. Scales comfortably wins that ball because his man got decked. The referee wasn't interested. McGregor does the right thing, try to ping the header back into Iniacho. Doesn't win that one, the ball back in. Great first touch, well calmly dealt with. Here's Cara under a slight bit of pressure for the front three of Dundee, but again nothing too severe. They're keeping themselves compact. Actually a nice run for Ralston there. He's done from McGregor to Scales. Maybe a pass in there. It was the right idea, still dangerous if Rio can get something on it. Laid out towards that far side. Not the worst ball into the box for Ralston. Forces some at least issues for Dundee. United gathers it on the far side. He's got a few bodies in the box if he can get there, but tries to do too much and loses out. Still dangerous. Tierney does well. Tenecte switched in towards McGregor, could look for any open lanes. It's a good pass in towards that far side. You've got to maybe try and go central here, lads. But Dundee set the lines calm and collected. Good shit for them. Got to give them credit where it's due. And Iniacho might just take a crack for range, and it's a bit better than Rio's at the very least. But of the same kind of token and tone, it's not anything too worrying for the keeper, let's say. I think McCracken would have had that one covered as well, but slightly more threatening. I don't know if it hit the side netting or it came off the outside of the post. It's kind of hard to tell for that camera angle, but I think it just kind of bounced off the foot of the post and out. Much better though. Much better. At least, you know, I wouldn't classify it as a shot on target, but it's a shot. It looked very much... it honestly looked like it had the side netting for that angle. It's because I have the audio muted, so I can't hear anything. That did not look like it hit the post, but it did, so... Closer than we thought, but Dundee have a chance to go forward now, and they might have a chance to do something on their own terms here. Ball switched into space, and again it's dangerous still. Not cleared. Whipped back into the box. This time it is. Dundee will have a half crack for range to try and force the issue. Thankfully it's more of a rugby punt than it is a football shot, and just kind of sails up and away, but damn. Everybody needs... No, do not do that. The whole idea... There's a whole thing where we're talking about not buying merchandise. Apparently that's a whole situation. Because the only way to hurt a bunch of rich ass board members is to hit them in their pockets. That's kind of the consensus between most fans now. They've got enough money to buy a striker, they just don't. That's better for any actual good step in, but he doesn't get his shot set there either. A lot worse than the last one, I'll say that one comfortably, but at least he's going at them. It's another chance for us. We're kind of starting to build on a bit of momentum, but no real potency in where we're putting them. Oh, you doing shit? Nice to see you, brother. And he actually score, come on. I mean, he's came closest so far, already hit the woodwork. Couple of half opportunities here and there for... I mean, Rio went for range, and he actually went for range twice, and at least we're trying to make it slightly difficult, but McCracken's not had really anything to do at all, nothing in between the sticks. You can say the same for Schmeichel. Although saying that, there's another chance, slight deflection. Dundee can still do something with this, and it's awkward, and it kind of bounced out and around. It's a corner kick for Dundee on that far side. I've been relatively mixed, Shane. I don't know when's the last time you checked in. I can kind of speed run the update for you, but a lot of shit, I will say that for free. There's a corner kick for Dundee here. And a potentially dangerous area, and like I said, our weakness is always set pieces. It's either we get done at the near post or it's just flicked on stupidly, and that's just a perfect example of that. It's 1-0 Dundee. With a first shot on target, it's going in. That's fucking incredible. I can't even be mad at the header because it's top fucking class. I think it's Robertson. It is Robertson that got in behind there. It was a brilliant... You can't fault the contact on the header, but the positioning defensively again, man. I think I might have jinxed it with fucking Carter Vickers because he just loses his man entirely, does not track his run whatsoever, gets away from him really easily, and like I said, the header is class. Fucking excellent header. It's perfectly placed, far post. Even if you have fucking God in between the sticks, you really don't think he's getting a hand to it. And unfortunately for us, it means that we're going to have to come back for the dead. Fantastic. We love to see it. Fuck's sake, man. There's apparently a check going on, but I didn't really see too much wrong with the build-up and play at all. I'll be fully honest. Unless there was a push that I didn't really see, but he broke away for his man. It's nothing that he did personally. It might be something that happened off the ball that I didn't maybe see in the first or second replay. Same old, feels like it, man. Let's see what happens. Well, there we go. Goal stands. Not really surprised at that. And it looks like Celtic will need to get the finger out of the arse and start doing some shit themselves, ideally. That'd be nice. Well, if there's Hearts fans watching across the country, they'll be very happy. I'll say that for free. Right now as it stands, that 5-point gap. It's just really fucking stupid. It's like the nicest way you can put it, man. Just really poor defensive positioning. We still can come back and win this. There's plenty of time. 70 minutes is more than enough for us to get 1 or 2 goals. But the problem is, we haven't really been scoring 1 or 2 goals. You're lucky if we get 1. Right, Motherwell was just because we had sheer Maeda magic. Right, we don't even have him this time around, man. What are we going to get for Yang? Still up. We've got to go nonetheless. Scales in towards McGregor, tries to find some space. It's actually a really nice drag back for Scales, in fairness. Doesn't really do much in terms of getting us further up the field. That's a nice ball in behind though. There could be a chance if Tierney can get his shit sorted and he misses. An absolute fucking sitter. That was a massive chance to get his first real fucking goal back for us, and it's a huge miss. I don't even know what else to say. It's an absolutely massive miss. He was definitely onside with the left centre back was playing him on. So Tierney, mate, that's heartbreaking, man. Because he does everything right, tees himself up, makes us up. It's the right idea. He just doesn't get it on target, which seems to be a fucking problem of late, and it just rolls past the far post. Right idea, but again, I say it so much, poor execution, man. Got to say it's a big chance that's gone for us, a massive chance. Done. Fair enough though. Fair enough. Can't really argue with it too much. Here's Carl Vickers. Played out towards that far side. Ralston can shift it if he wants to. Should probably try and do so a bit faster. McGregor eventually siphons it out towards Tierney. 1-2 pass between him and Negrin, although Negrin really just to find where he's meant to be in the plot, because he's all about the midfield right now, but no real actual spot of brilliance yet for him so far. That's a poor giveaway again for Rio. The passing's just so fucking lacklustre between all of the midfield, man. It's so disconnected. Here comes Dundee on a counter-attack. Far side, whip across. Schmeichel had to get a hand on it and just to make sure it wasn't spilled back into play. Still dangerous up. Take their man on. Ralston doesn't really do the best job, so Negrin takes over to mark him, and apparently it's a goal kick, so turns out he actually did an alright job of it. But once again, man, just one break forward and it's like our defenders just partially switch off. I don't really get their whole memo. It's not good. It's cut back and we're already back in our half, so that's a positive sign at least. Here's Carter Vickers, Scales. Long switch in behind, could be potentially threatening if Tenecte can get the ball across. Does get the ball across, it's another big fucking chance. And it's Yang that skies it, he can't keep it fucking down, man. This is like, lads, you need to hit the target, man. It's no fucking difficult. I don't get what Yang's trying to do there. It's like he tries to skip shot it, but bro, stick your fucking ankle over the ball. Get it into the ground at least. Got to say, that's two big chances in as many minutes. It's starting to get fucking annoying now. Like, why? Why don't we have anybody that can score a goddamn goal? Like, lads. Stop. Respectfully. It's a bit shit now. Dundee try to ping it forward, it's the right idea. Murray doesn't win the initial knock on, tries to stick his leg out in the second, but McGregor's the one that comes away with it. And I guess we'll go side to side for all 3 minutes before we do the same thing and miss. Carter Vickers, nice pass out towards space, maybe an overlapping run if there's options there, although that's just way overhit for Negrin. Like I said, he's been a bit slack at best. Here's McGregor, nice pass, it's a good touch actually for Negrin, he does well, but ball into the box is mediocre at best, let's be honest, from Yang, and we'll have to go with a throw-in instead. It's played short, not too bad if we can get the ball into the box for here, but side to side now ain't going to do much. No, instead we're going to go backwards, it's even fucking worse. Scales eventually realises forward's the only option we really should be fucking doing right now. We're 1-0 down. Poor giveaway for Tierney. We'll try and chase down to make it slightly awkward. It's a slip and a half, right? Tierney will get in and force the issue, but it's a throw-in for Dundee nonetheless. It's just not very good. That is what it is though. Can't say it's been particularly defensively great from either side. Dundee's let a few easy chances slip between the cracks and we have not been able to take our chances, and the one real chance that Dundee have been able to form off of that corner kick. Beautiful header and they've got in at the back of the net. Just shows you how simple football can be sometimes. How you doing, come on, nice to see you, man. I remember you for the Scotland matches, hope you're well. Kind of surprised you're representing Dundee. Or do you support another team that isn't Dundee and you're just happy that Celtic are losing? Because honestly, either's fair. That's better for McGregor, right idea at least. Get the ball shifting. It's a little better. I like the idea that McGregor try to throw himself in there, does the right thing to win the ball, and to be fair, can't fault that. Nice. Rio. Tenecte is to kind of try and go a bit more direct at his man. It's a loose giveaway again, man. Tierney, you ought to try a bit fucking harder, lad. Sticks his leg out and does the same type of thing he did just a minute ago. Can only do as much as force it out for a throw-in. Yay. Fair enough, I have no idea what you're trying to say there, Chief, I'll be honest. Nah, Vinod was joy. He joined us for the games against Greece and Belarus. Obviously good results for Scotland, but I feel like Celtic will have to do something in a similar type of vein where it's like, yeah, we're shite, but we still need to win somehow. Don't know what the fuck's happening there, it's just a battle of twits basically, just who can try and buy the fill the best, I suppose. Dundee won it on that account. To be fair, Yang has every right to kind of be a bit annoyed at that. He was getting his shot pulled and everything, but it's Wesley that goes down under his own weight and they give the fill to Dundee. Interesting, but fair enough. Yeah, people from all over. I don't know if you were here for the last stream, MKS, but during the Motherwell game, specifically in the second half when we were losing, there was a lot of Brazilian and Portuguese people. You have people from all around the world that watch Celtic. Sometimes because they hate them, but still. McGregor could switch out towards that far side. There could be something on there if we want to get it moving. But you gotta go in here. That's the fucking worst pass of the lot so far, man. You know it's bad when you have like 2 or 3 individuals turn around at the same time and point back as if to say, what the fuck was that? Exactly that, C-Sense. Exactly that. Oh, I tell you what, by the way, Negrin did get caught. I don't think it's a red card offence, I'll be honest. But I feel like a yellow would be fair for that in hindsight, at the very fucking least. But I think he's just going to get away with that entirely. I suppose you can just boot people in the fucking chest now. Not a card for that, are you kidding me? That's interesting, fair enough. Tierney. Back towards Scales, calm enough. It's a lot of culture, fair enough. Scales. No debate where he's from. It's a good ball towards Tenecte, could get in behind. He's going to get overrun, maybe it's a corner kick. It didn't come back off Tenecte, so corner kick it. It is. Jesus Christ, man. Everything's failing me at the same time. I knew I was going to regret this when I literally pulled an all-nighter to do this shit as well. That's the worst part. I did it to myself. Fair enough though. We do have a corner kick, so maybe something comes up. Shot and target would be nice at least. Maybe another cross if we get it in quick enough. Much better. That was way better than any corner we've put in so far by a comfortable distance, but it's easily cleared by Dundee in the end anyway. Probably it's a foul for them as well, I'm not honestly too sure. How you doing, guys? Nice to see you, brother. Hope you're well. How's the game been? Very mixed and mostly shit. Dundee's goal was nice, can't take any credit away from them. It was just poor defensive marking for Carter Vickers that allowed the header in the first place, but I think it was Robertson that, if my mind serves me right, I think it was Robertson that kind of looped a really nice header into the far corner. Celtic had missed a bunch of sitters and he actually hit the post. Kieran Tierney's missed for point blank range. Yang skied one over the bar for just outside the penalty spot. It's not been convincing at all on the finishing front. The passing's been mixed. There's some really nice stuff in amongst a lot of bad. It's just really stop-start inconsistent. You know what I mean? Not good at all. I think it is exceptionally early to say that. Kamara, very much early to say that. You forget that Celtic and Hearts would need to play each other, what, like 3-4 other times. That in itself is like a 9-12 point swing. It would be by no means over. But it would certainly put the fucking fire underneath Celtic's arses to get shifting. And it would be just as much as a wake-up call to the board as any other fucking protest for the fans or any internal issues they have. They'll need to put it to the side when they realise that they're not getting anything good going. It's been very fucking stale at best. And even our best players look like they're really trying to drag the effort out themselves, which is just not a good sign of team cohesion. Passing's a wee bit slack where you really don't want it to be. It could be problematic on the later stages of this game, but we're still the better side in terms of chance creation, but we need to stick them in target. At the very fucking least make the keeper work, because McCracken's just had to stand there basically. Like I said, beside that any actual chance, which honestly even at the time didn't look like it at the post, it just did on the inverse angle. You're like, shit, that's about as good as it's got for us. But Tierney's miss was bad. It was nice to see, brother. Relatively okay, man. Relatively okay. It's not as bad as it was. Still just got a lot of stuff to go over the next month or so. Apparently I've got fucking potential wisdom tooth surgery next month at some point as well, so I'm just getting screwed on all fronts basically, brother. But I'm good for the most part. I just sound pure tired because I've, like I said, I've kind of been awake the entire night. I just like to make myself suffer, I guess. I don't know what this is. It's either someone in hell or heaven is playing a massive joke with me, or I'm just really unlucky. But I'm good, honestly. Wouldn't say it's the worst ever. But definitely stale. There's a big deflection. It could go out for a corner, maybe, please. Hey, it has a corner flag, goes out for a corner. Smashing. We have another chance. The Aberdonian. Interesting. I mean, I suppose that's fair. You probably want anyone besides Celtic or Rangers to win the title. I can't actually argue with that. To be fair, your last minute winner was really good against Mirren. I will give you credit for that. It's nice to see he's come alive and actually play football. Took you like 90 minutes to do it, but got there in the end. I can respect the idea of Iheanacho, but the chase down was never going to be too threatening. Loose ball for Dundee again though. Like I said, it's all one-way traffic. We're doing all the right things. It's just literally getting shots on target. We need to start doing that. Otherwise it's going to get real problematic real fucking soon. McGregor. Ralston, who's more or less pinned inside like 40 yards from their goal. But a loose pass basically opens up some space. Classic. Russell Martin was the worst appointment in SPF. I'd say it's up there 100%. I don't even think his record would be acceptable at fucking Falkirk, let alone goddamn Rangers. It's not foul. I wouldn't say there's a... Yeah, I kind of agree with Murray there. I definitely don't think that's a foul. McGregor. Calm. Nice, I like that pass back for Negrini. Didn't really have any other options, but nonetheless, that's what we have. Played forward to Necti. Let's see what he's got. He's going to cut inside. Right idea. McGregor has a chance to shoot for range. It's a great block. Dundee are starting to get a bit desperate with it though. You feel like the confidence is building at the very least. There's a good whip ball into the box. I like the idea, but again, it's the finishing fucking product that's lacking, man. He tries to like carry touch it rather than just redirect it towards goal. And now Celtic are trying to defend a breakaway for Dundee. It's a smashing pass out to space. The flick on is dangerous. And Scales does not take any risks with it, just kind of prods it away with his left toenail. It's going to be a corner kick for Dundee on that far side. Well, I hope we do score, guys, but honestly, the optimism is about as mid as it can be. I honestly don't know what to say. I still have faith we'll score. Like, I think we're a good enough side to fucking come back and win this game, but it's just not happening on the offensive front. It's just shite. Just being as nice about it as possible. I think being shard helps me not be as mad. There's another discussion going on between the referee Wesley and Negro and that. A few extra tugs of the shot that might not be liking there at all. Let's see where this one goes. Whipped in, dangerous as fuck actually. If they can get the knockdown, it's still not fully cleared. Shot ain't horrible either. It did look way more dangerous on the first camera angle, I'll be honest with you. I'm sure this replay will tell you how far away it actually was. But it was a half attempt from Hamilton. I think he just sliced his shot. Let's see. Yeah, nowhere near the target. It was the right idea though. Similar to us though, poor execution. Come on, isn't an Aberdeen name. Doesn't have to be. Might just be his YouTube name, Chief. Who knows? So what's happening now? Oh right, I was confused. I don't know what the fuck's going on. They're just deciding who's going to take it. They're going to push the players up, which is interesting. And it looks like Dundee might go a bit more attacking, 10.5. Rare territory in that sense. Long time ago, you've just answered your own question. If it's like pre-2006 or 7, I'm either going to know it immediately or I'm not going to know it at all. Can't say I do. Oh, well, there's a yellow card for time wasting for McCracken. That's a bit of an interesting one. I like the hold up play for Carl. Don't get aggressive with him, just fucking don't. You give them incentive to try and rally up Carter. You don't want to do that. Although he's screaming at Casper to get the ball moving, and honestly I agree with that. You want to try and go for blood right at the end of the half. The best time to score if you're Celtic would be right on the stroke of half time, because it would suck the life out of Dundee in terms of their game plan for the second half. It would change up the tactics that Dundee would come out in the second half with. There was a chance for us to do something, but we didn't really move it anywhere that was particularly threatening. It's like watching a game in a pinball machine. I know, it can bounce anywhere, but it's usually never where you want it to. Tenecti not too happy with that at all, and honestly again, can't really fucking blame him. Not too long until half time here at the very least, so there will be a chance for Celtic to kind of get a breather, reset and refresh themselves. I'm not sure if we've gained any subscribers or not, because I've not plugged it all, but if you can, best thing you can do to help the channel is maybe consider giving us a wee subscription or a like. That's the best thing you can do. It helps, keeps us in the algorithm and all that good jazz. That's a good pass in for Tenecti, maybe a chance for us to score here. I like it better, at the very least. It's a throw in on the far side, but good constant pressure. It's sustained pressure for Celtic at the least. Nice. Something to smile about at least. Scales. Goes sideways. Had the chance to kind of play a more risky pass in there. I can understand why I didn't want to take that opportunity. Negron on the far side. Nice cut back to Yang. Lovely pass in his space for Yang actually. Perfect idea. Rio does well to kind of roll it out. Scales. Lovely pass across. Tonight he could go for a whip cross here if he takes his man on. Pokes it back out for Tierney instead, and it hits the referee. That's lovely. I guess we'll have like a drop ball situation, which is always fun. It is. Back underway almost immediately. Can't complain of that too much as long as they're moving it with purpose. Oh, we did get one subscriber. Fantastic. Thank you to the one person that's done that. Left hand side, let's roll it, let's see where it's going. Connect it. Have a crack at least here, man. No, we're just side to side in this shit. Again, connect it. Byline, what across, slightly more dangerous, but again Dundee steadfast in doing what they have to do defensively. Negrin back towards Tierney, nice pass into Tenecte. The idea is lovely, Negrin's been taken down there. Apparently the referee doesn't agree though. Kind of need to see the replay back. It's either he tripped over his own legs or he was clipped at the heels. It's an interesting one. Hard to tell for that angle, I'll be honest with you. But if he went down under his own weight, that'd be a very fucking sad thing to see. Carter Vickers tries to have a poke for range, it's going to deflect. Celtic will carry it out for a corner kick at least, so that's something again, positive notes there, but I want to see that challenge on Benji Boy back just to see if it was legal or not, but he seems to be playing on, so I think he was just trying to buy the penalty if anything. Which in that case, go fuck yourself. You really should have just tried to get the shot of it. Ball into the box, dangerous. The header back wasn't too bad either, but still bouncing up and awkward. No one's really getting it cleared, and apparently it's a foul for Dundee. That wee guy's been diving a fucking lot, man. Get up off your arse, bro. I guarantee you didn't really get touched. If you couldn't tell by my prediction, guys, I was not expecting us to be scoring many goals at all today. We're down Maeda, we're down Jaw, we're down Johnston. We're just not playing as good as we could be. No, Negrin went down under his own pressure. Mad. Anything, Kevin, nice to see you, mate. It's always good to see one of the wee stars in here. How you doing, man? What's happening? Hope you're well. Things you love to see. I didn't even see that comment. You're in there but living in Aberdeen. Huh? All the places to go, the Granite City. Can't fault it. People have ended up in other places. I like the attempt. There is, do keep in mind there will be at least a few additional minutes of added time for the delay at the start of the game. You have a feeling there'll probably be at least 2 or 3, but who knows at this point. Let's see what happens. It's a really weird punt for the keeper. It's the first time we've seen the wind kind of blow it back into their own half almost. Apparently Tierney's fouled his man there, I'm not really too sure. Congreve's kind of complaining about something. I didn't see what happened. Oh right, okay, yeah, no, it's definitely a foul. I was wondering, it was like Tierney was the one that got pulled down, but nah, he kind of trapped his arm and forced him down with him. It's a foul, Dundee's whip, 100%. Didn't look as bad in real time, but you see that angle, you're like, nah, shit, no, 100%. Can't argue with it. So maybe Dundee will win the latter chances of the half. Looks like it's going to be right to swing this one in. They've got a lot of overlapping runs there. If they want to abuse the back stick, they might just try and do so. It's not really the greatest crossing. Still dangerous enough for them to get another crack of the whip though. If they want to try and move it fast, they don't. Any actual like the idea just forces Dundee to get the ball forward. And thankfully it's not too risky at all. Simple goal kick for Schmeichel to collect, and he's trying to get the ball out fast. I think as far as you're concerned, if you're Dundee, you're quite happy. You're not, you know, thrilled with the performance. You've had many opportunities and only put one on target, but if you're Celtic, you're fucking furious because we've missed at least, I would say, comfortably 2 sitters. You could maybe make a case for 3, but I don't mind any actuals post that too much because it was for like 25 yards out and was actually a half decent attempt for range. But that miss for Yang and that miss for Tierney, 2 really big opportunities that could have gone our way that hasn't. And more importantly for Dundee, the one that did go their way just about clipped the far inside post from a header, which was poorly marked by Carter Vickers, you have to say. Did not cover himself in glory marking the run of Robertson at all, but real sad to say that, because besides that he's probably been our best defender comfortably. He's the one that's doing a lot of the heavy lifting passing wise as well. Just such a lacklustre performance when you look at it all across the board. Kind of suits how I feel right now, just tired and lethargic. got to give Dundee their credit though. Genuinely, they have defended well. Anyone that's a Dundee fan in here, tip my hat to the way you just set up defensively, because it is very, very stout. Strong and stable stuff. But you feel like it's the classic tale of Celtic waking up in the second half, and if this is as bad as it gets, then it's positive in the sense of the fact that we have been the better team. But again, doesn't matter how good you are, it's about the fucking result at the end of the day, and that's all Dundee will be giving a fuck about. They might make it way more frustrating. There's 5 additional minutes for obviously the stoppage at the start for all the stuff that was thrown onto the pitch. Falkirk might be Colby, got the kill piece there. Cool, fair enough, man. Like I said, it would be nice to see us try and catch them on the break here, but it's just the same old side to side shite. I feel like one loose pass can fuck us up here. Scales. Right idea to Necte. Don't get caught out here, mate. He's going to get caught out here, and he's being caught out. This is what the fucking fear is. There's a chance for Dundee to break right at the end of the half. Do not do it, man. Scales. Gets to the... Oh, fuck me. Scales, mate. Stick a leg out. It's bad. It's squeezed in. And the second shot on target goes in as well. Do we even fucking have a goalkeeper in between the sticks? It's a lovely finish. I think it's Wesley that's crept in at the back there. I don't honestly know. But it's another shocking piece of fucking defending from an overlapping run from Tenecte trying to be too fucking clever. Tries to cut across his man, tries to keep going, tries to keep going, loses out, and it just doesn't track back to help either. Gives up halfway through. Allows him to break down that far side, and it just Scales get minced, absolutely fucking minced, and it's just shit defending as well. The track back is not that impressive, and it's just spilled. I think it's a Carter Vickers' own goal, actually. I think the touch comes off Wesley, but it redirects off a Carter Vickers, who doesn't... Yeah, like, I mean, this is what I'm saying. Our best defender has been literally responsible for both goals. That's fucking sad, man. Jesus Christ. Fair enough, I guess. Dundee are 2-0 up. What the fuck's the point in this thing? Well done, boys. You're absolute fucking clacker bags. Jesus Christ, man. That is bad. That's the type of goal you would concede in FIFA when you're 4-0 down and you're about 5 seconds away from putting the goddamn fucking controller through the floor. It's so unbelievably stale. We're that fucking bad that we're scoring goals against ourselves, man. Do we put the fucking sliders down or what? Well, I guess we do need to go ham in the second half, because it's now not just coming back for 2-1 down, we're going to have to do it for 2-0. We do have that comeback ability to us, but fucking 1's barely just about doable for us. 2 is fucking nigh on impossible. And it's just this. Slim words came back to bite me, man. I'm like, Celtic, best time to score would be right at the end of the half. Turns out Dundee are the ones that do that for us, so fuck's sake. Class. Things you love to see. Well, you don't love to see, I hate to see it, but honestly, that shithouse are at its best. Dundee will fucking take that every day of the week. And we deserve it for being so fucking lacklustre and stale. Tactics have been fucking woeful. That's the nicest thing you can say about it. And just the key players not showing up when they've had to. Tierney's missed a sitter, Young's missed a sitter, and Iheanacho's at the post. And both times Dundee's got it remotely near our goal, it's gone in. And that's what we have. Ralston trying to hit the target for 25 yards out on a running fucking shot. Masterclass. Absolutely fucking magnificent stuff, I might say. Yeah, no, it's 100% an own goal cover. Like, there's no debate about it whatsoever. It kind of like goes between his legs and then pops out off his knee. Stale as shit. But it's fun as watching paint dry, honestly. I feel like I'd get more joy out of watching paint dry, knowing at least the paint will stick. These cunts are just Straight diarrhea. I don't really know what else to add, man. And I'll try to complain about a corner that just definitely wasn't a corner that came after the Dundee player last. Unless it was, nah, it definitely came after the Dundee player last, fair enough, but it's literally, what's that going to do for us? How, like, we must be the only fucking side that's capable of being 2-0 down with one shot on target against us. Like, it's fucking miraculous how bad we are at this. I don't know what the fuck's happened to our defence. I think they've forgotten the concept of their jobs, and that's incredible, man. Imagine a lawyer or a fucking, like, contractor that builds buildings doing that. Oh, I just happened to forget how to do my job back there. It's like, that's nice, Jim, but you've just fucking... That was an orphanage, and it collapsed, mate, so what are we going to do about that? It's like, it's just an off day, mate. Don't let... No, fuck off, man. If you get in half time, Rodgers, you need to start, you know, saying some words, and a lot of them. Mostly bad. Negative. To fire them up in the right ways, man. I'm not saying like pin them against the wall and threaten their families, but at the very least be like, yo lads, you do fucking realise this is how you put bread on the table. Do you really want to go home at the end of the week and sit down with your wife and kids and be like, aye, the only reason I have this money is because we lost 2-0 to Dundee. I predicted 2-0, I just didn't think it'd be the other way fucking round. Quite a lover of elite, man, as well. Honestly, at this point, I wouldn't even say it's fucking Rodgers' fault. I think he's just as depressed as the rest of us, man. He has to watch that shit except for the sidelines. I don't even think tactics could save him at this point. It's just real, like, you have to just hope that there's some individual quality that gets us across the line, and the few times where it's fell honest to do that, it's not been there. Tierney's miss was fucking ridiculous, and like Yang's was a bit more difficult, but again, should be doing better to at least try and get it on target. And that's been the theme of our game. We've had all of the possession, all of the fucking control of the game, basically, all of the fucking good stuff going our way, but not a single shot on target. It's fucking bad, man. Like, I knew as soon as I seen the lineups and I didn't see my head on the bench, like, my heart just sank. I was like, oh, fuck. I guess we're screwed then, because what was Yang going to do? Yang has been non-existent. Like I said, the one time he did pop up, he missed a very easy chance to get shot on target, so that's problematic as fuck. But who do we really even have to replace him at this point? Like, again, we're down multiple fuckers of injuries. It's just not good at all. But again, you can't take anything away from Dundee. They've came out with a game plan and they've executed it pretty much to perfection. They knew they weren't going to get a lot of the ball, so they realised, fuck it, put Celtic under pressure when they're on it, because they're just not comfortable. And even though we've had 80% of the ball and all these fancy nice side to side Trivela passes, that's all fucking class, but the goal scores, the goal scoring stuff, that's the shit that matters. Brutal first half. Just write this game off and let Dundee and the media have their day again at the big one. I can't even many fans getting at the big one and them drawn yesterday. I know it's probably some like glorious karma to the Celtic fans that were gaining Rangers shite for drawing with Dundee. Like, it's not as if we're doing any better. We're not losing 2-0, so it's humbled well and truly. But again, anyone that's been on my channel long enough knows I'm one of the more brutally honest ones. As I did say, Dundee have that ability to just get a goal and then hold on for dear life. They're doing that definitely now in the second half. It's almost undisputed. They will defend like fuck. Expect Celtic to have like 85% of the ball by the time this game ends, because there is no way in hell Dundee are going to be doing any attacking unless they have to. They'll take a draw for this point, so it's one of those. Celtic will need to pull something out of the hat. Well, yeah, and the other, preferably a nice cohesive passing system. That'd be lovely. That'd be the minimum. I'd love to see a decent passing system, but highly doubt that's going to fucking happen anytime soon. Nonetheless. Yes. Well, good old Deleption. I guess that's just how it is, I suppose. Not as many people in here for this stream. I just checked the live viewers here. Apparently there's only 25. I use all day. There's not even people in here hate watching. Is that how stale it's got? Just watching us play shite. Ain't even people hate watching anymore. I mean, I'll take it. I'm not going to be angry at that one. How you doing, Harry? Nice to see you, mate. Is this really happening? Unfortunately so. You did not die in your sleep. You woke up. This is reality. We are... Well, I mean, I'd say this is reality. This could theoretically be hell. I'm convinced at this point this might be some form of, like, first layer of hell type beat. Because this is bad. I've been subjected to this after pulling an all-nighter to make the thumbnails and do all the game research and all that good jazz. I didn't sleep. And I feel like it's just translated into the game because it just feels as stale as it is to just be awake in general. But I'm going to stick the second half out. Fuck it. But it's going to be stale. It's hell, let's be honest. We know what we're going to get. Couldn't have said it better myself, Tommy. We definitely need to be a little bit less. Like, I mean, I don't mind being piss every now and then, but being shite is unacceptable. Because that means you're number 2. At least be number 1. I don't mind being piss as long as we get across the line and win titles. We're playing shite right now, and that's not going to win us anything. The season could be... Like, again, I don't want to point out the obvious or anything, but we're not even into November. Like, it's different when you're in January, February territory, and then you've got Hearts 10, 15 points clear. That's a different story. If that's what's happening, then fucking sure, you know, wave the white flag or all that. But no, I'm not worried until there's a reason to be worried. We're shite, but we've still got depth once the injuries come back. We still have Jota and Johnston, and of course Maeda now as well. When they return fit, we're not too far from having Jota back. It's only like a month or two now, and Johnston's due, like, he's already kind of back in training from what I'm hearing. So we have slight positives. It's just that we're kind of suffering in the meantime because we just don't really have the attacking depth. Like I said, starting Yang's never a good thing, but the only real option we have is realistically fucking Forest, and no offence or anything, but it's not exactly invigorating for the soul, let's be honest. But it is what it is. Like I said, you can't really argue it too much. It's hard to argue it on any aspect, to be honest with you. Skills plays his heart out every minute, every match for 90 minutes with not much help. True, but it's also part of the reason why we concede. I mean, look back at the second goal, brother, and you'll realise why that sentence doesn't make sense to me. Scales does make a lot of mistakes. Like, Carter Vickers might have been the one that put it in his own net, but Scales got fucking rinsed numerous times on that break. Tenecte is the one I'd say is at fault for the second one because he tried to be too fancy with the fucking overlap and running. He kept going and kept going and kept going, and more people were clearly going to chase him down and get a leg in. No, kept running for no reason whatsoever. Gives the ball away and it's an easy break. Scales gets fucking minced and Carter Vickers is out of position and can't really redirect the deflection on the cross, so it goes in. It's bollocks, but it is what it is. That's football for you. Sometimes you just have to play to the other team's strengths, and for Dundee they realise that Celtic don't have many strengths right now. It's very stale. What gives me the fear if this is how we're playing against Dundee, what the fuck are we going to do against Sturm Graz? They've already proven they can beat Rangers, and we've proven we can't beat Rangers, so that's a fucking problem in its own right. It's just not good. We need to figure some things out. Those are two very ironic sentences to see back to back. Not too worried about Rodgers leaving the fans. We'll be wanting him out by the end of this. And I don't think Rodgers is a great attraction for decent players coming to Celtic. Again, I wouldn't really pin this on the players. I'd just pin this on the fact that we haven't invested in the right areas. And again, that doesn't come down to the players at all. The players are going to be forced to play regardless, right? They're just going to do what they can. But when you actively see your head coach's head drop, your head's going to drop as a virtue. It's just going to happen alongside it. And again, Celtic might be able to dig a result out of this game, we might not. It's up in the air right now. We need to start getting shots and targets as a fucking minimum. I like any actual, but I need to see him actually get into the box and try and fucking fire a shot off, because doing it for range ain't doing much. So change a couple of things in that sense. Maybe we get something going, but it's such a difficult thing to try and be optimistic about, you know what I mean? You just kind of have to sit here and hope, well, maybe there's something, maybe we get like an outside chance, maybe we get some things cooking and flowing, but yeah, there's not a lot of oil in the machine. It's especially when most of the squad don't give a fuck. True, but the question a lot of people would then ask is Scales first team material? I mean, we didn't really even consider him like squad material a few seasons ago. That's why we loaned him out to Aberdeen, because we're like, fuck it, go there, you're not really useful to us right now. It's like, he's earned his spot. I'm definitely in agreement with you. The guy probably has more heart than arguably even players like Tierney do right now. But it's because he knows that one bad performance puts him on the bench, because Trusty will be fucking scratching at the door. My kind of counterpoint is that we just don't really have too much like diversity in depth, because Trusty and Scales are two very similar types of defenders. You want something that's a bit more cohesive, you know, you want like a Hodgson or a Vidic type, you know what I mean, tall, physical, can actually, you know, work alongside Carter Vickers positionally. Scales works better with like a overlapping defender than Carter Vickers, and Scales sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's always an iffy one. When it works well, it works beautifully, but this game has not been the best example of that. A few times have you know you're shit about NASA, to be fair, Coffee. Come back on, hopefully early goal needed and it's not over. I like that, that's good optimism to have. At least we have someone being slightly optimistic, like just one guy in the corner, maybe we come back, and everyone just turns around and goes, shut it mate. It's like, fuck. But hey, I mean, like I said, we're going to have bad results. Maybe it's not the worst thing to get out of the way now, but at the same time, fuck that. I ain't happy clapping shit. I want to see us score a goal at the very fucking least in the first 10-15 minutes. Make the game interesting. I don't want to be sitting here in the 80th minute regretting my life choices doing this shit. It would not be fun for me. Talking about changes, but nothing too official as of now. Don't see anything coming up on my feeds here either, so. Are there any games you just want me to check on? Well, we have another like, well, we have about 2-3 minutes. Yeah, give or take. So I have time to check if anyone wants a little update on one of their teams. But at least if they're playing. If they're not playing, then don't obviously ask. I agree with that, David. Some Scottish investment would be very nice to see, at the very least. Like I said, it would have been good if we could have kept players like Dolkin, Hickey or Robertson, if we'd managed to lure him in the academy and kept him, and that would have been nice. Like, you think about how different our squad could look if we just kept some of those youth pieces. But that's the nature of the game. It's fucked up nowadays. Give Sinisalo some games. I'd say, to be fair, this is one of those times where you can't really blame Schmeichel, because both goals were like very well. Well, I mean, Carter Vickers hit the side net, and it's not as if Schmeichel was going to get on the end of that. He was genuinely like in no man's land. Can't do much. But for the first goal, it was just a genuinely nice header. You can't argue with a really good header. So it's one of those. You know what I mean? It's different if it was a shot straight at him like Braga or whatever. But nah, I wouldn't really put this on Casper. But we do need to give Sinisalo some games. I do agree. If you go back to the start of this stream, it was one of the first things I pointed out. I don't know what Sinisalo needs to do to get a match, but yeah, evidently it's not been the most enjoyable. We should have kept Rocco Var. I'm not actually wrong. That and Daniel Cummins as well. You can make a case for that Karamoko Dembele as well, but yeah. Fair enough, David, fair enough. No arguments, I suppose. It's one of those, I guess. I don't know. I'd say anyone can make a good sandwich. I'd say I'd make better sandwiches than most fucking lads. You ever made a good steak sandwich or a good fucking, you know, double stacked bacon and cheese, like fucking sandwich. nothing goes harder. If you make a good sandwich, you make a good one. See what thing I like today? It's a bit of a weird one, but it's actually really good if anyone wants to try it. Basically, just get like 2 pieces of bread and like if you have like a toaster oven, even better. If not, then you can use your normal oven. Bread, cheese, German salami, put it on it, extra layer of cheese, cook it. Trust. That shit will change your game entirely. Casper left an open goal. Well, he really didn't. The header for Robertson was beautifully placed in the far corner. There wasn't anything wrong with Schmeichel's positioning. He was in the right place he was meant to be, on the near post. Second one, you can make the case, I suppose, but yeah, it's one of those. Oh, this is always good. Second half is about to get underway though, so we'll head back to the screen. Well, that told you I mean, it wasn't me that was talking about it, Chief. Check over my last few VODs, I've probably been the least enthusiastic Celtic fan of the fucking lot. Oh, this is typical, isn't it? There's a soul has to go wrong now. Fabulous. Fucking typical, we love to see it. Things are good in life. There we go, that's fine. Well, hopefully a much better second half to come. Brown bread, peanut butter, honey, banana biscuit. Fair enough, it's a weird combo. I'll try to go for it straight with the gate, that's interesting. There are changes. Kenny's on for Ralston and Forrest is on for Yang, so I'm honestly confused. What the fuck does that mean for our team defensively? I guess it means we're going straight full press then, which again would play into Dundee's hand because they will be defending resolutely for this entire match. There's a half attempt to break into the box where it doesn't get it through for McGregor. Could have potentially snuck it through, but doesn't work out on this occasion. Dundee clear the lines, and I think it is going to be I think it is definitely going to be a much more attacking press for us. Dundee are quite comfortably sitting behind their own halfway line, so you can imagine it's going to be very much one-way traffic in the second half, but Dundee will do everything they can to defend this, and rightly fucking so. You know, Celtic tend to have a bit of a stronger wave in the second half, but done a relatively good job at limiting the chances on the offensive front, at least when it comes to getting shots on target. Like I said, that's the big thing we really need to change in this half. Forrest steps in. Like the approach, but we don't really use it. Cut inside. Coming off, rolled in. Space is open if you want to take it on, man. I like the idea. Carter and then Ward's in Iacho. Also playing on the outside right almost. I'm not, again, I'm so confused about what our formation actually is. Scales doesn't really cover himself in glory with that pass away either. Do we have a switch up information? Because it seems like we've switched a lot up. Because it seems like we've got any actual out here. We've definitely gone with a bit more of an advanced press, but it's hard to tell exactly what we're doing defensively. I feel like it's just that flat 3 at the back. Interesting to see how that works tactically, especially if Dundee decide to go on a counter-attack of their own. Could cause problems. You fell asleep during that draw, so I do not blame you in the fucking slightest, man. Pretty sure that's my game blowing off on the stream ends, to be honest with you. It's a good pass into space, we can get something going there. Nice for Rio. At least he's trying to be a bit more direct. Nice to see, wee man. Good pass into space. Lovely touch and take by McGregor. Far side, right idea. Ball into space. Cleared away by Robertson. No fucking faff whatsoever that time, man. Bullet. Straight up the other side of the pitch. No faff, no fuss at all. Because you're so negative about a team, there's nothing to be happy about. Rangers were losing and drawing games. True, I suppose, but every club goes through their weird phase, I suppose. It's just really rare that Celtic and Rangers happen to go through it at the same kind of time. It's like who can be shitter than each other, when it's like usually it's like who can be better than each other. It's like this season like that. Who can be worse? Who can throw away more opportunities to actually be alright? Rio. Like that cut back, but you only need to switch it in earlier, and it's just so overclocked, man. It's like we do all the nice football, and then it's as soon as we enter the final third, it's like there's an active brain cell bouncing between our three attackers. And that's about it, man. Like, there was no movement off the ball. Rio's ball-in wasn't miserably bad, but it was just really overhit with power. So no one's really going to get in the end of it. Fair enough, David. Thank you for your valuable information to this discussion. We do appreciate it. Yes. We shut yourselves in and around the box. Definitely not wrong there, man. Oh, look at that, Murray tried a shot. I suppose that would technically count as a shot on target, right? Would it? I guess. Probably the weakest shot on target you'll ever see was literally a P-roll that took about 10 bounces on the way through to Schmeichel, but fair enough. Nice, good. I like that for Rio. Again, he's trying to be a bit more direct than the rest of the midfielders, so I have a bit more respect for him already. Good football. Even McGregor's done a full court press. That's not a horrible bounce if Celtic can retain it. McGregor's trying his best to force the issue, but again, very well dealt with by Dundee defensively. It's going to be a throw-in for them just behind their own halfway line. Could someone give me a like update? Usually we tend to try and set it as a minimum of 20 for each stream, so if anyone can tell me how close we are to that, that'd be very much appreciated, thank you. It's going to be flung as far forward as they can muster it. Awkward bounce, Carter. Should retain this, just rolls it across for Schmeichel. It wasn't actually the worst ball out, and he actually was under pressure. Does fucking excellently with a standing roll. Referee isn't interested in whatever faff is happening there. Played back, cleared away. Dundee should try and probably go for a push themselves here if they can, and they do get past. They're really going for it. Like I said, we're playing with that awkward ass three at the back, so it's a chance for Dundee to do something, but this time Carter Vickers' big fucking challenge had to get the ball off Murray there, otherwise it was going to be a cut across and shot from the big striker for the... Oh yeah, no, I really had to time that right, Jesus Christ. One false move and Murray would have gone down looking for a penalty, he would have felt. Fair enough. Goes back and Iniacho's laying it back to Carter Vickers, calming off. McGregor rolled out any space, and it's a good pass as well. If Iniacho can go for a quick cross, but opts to hold the line up. Chased down. Ball into the box is half dangerous. It's well intended. You've got to say about Kieran Tierney trying to like hook flick it back into play, but it was never going to be too threatening. 17. Better than what I thought, to be fair, for a stream on this low of a concurrent count. So it always happens with early kickoffs, though. That's why I tend not to do them that much. It's a good run in for Negrin. He has to get an overlap here if he can find it. Doesn't. Ball into the box is dangerous. Why would you go for an overhead kick there, you fucking fool? I know you have every right to try for it, Kenny, and I respect it in some degree, but there's a guy right beside you that's obviously going to go down if you go anywhere near him. You're just risking a high foot challenge there, which is exactly what... I mean, he doesn't get anywhere like near him. It's just a classic dive for the centre back to like make it seem like he was like it's nowhere near him at all. But it's just the high foot. It's totally fucking needless. If you're unmarked, yeah, swing at that all you want, mate. But you know exactly what Dundee's game plan is. Sent high and away. Referee's having a word about something there. I guess there was some hold-up play before the pass was shifted on. Nothing to do with the old firm being crap. But I feel like it has a lot to do with it. It's about things changing. This is obviously embarrassing but not decisive. It's just Dundee. This is repeating on Sunday against Hearts, season over. I wouldn't even agree with that, I guess. Again, you still have a ton of point swings, and we've seen it with Aberdeen last season. I feel like everybody forgets this, but every season we have one team outside the Celtic or Rangers that does like a 10, 15, even pushing 17, 18 game unbeaten streaks, and then they fall completely flat when January hits. Like, I mean, Dundee didn't, not Dundee, fucking Aberdeen last season didn't even crack the end of November before they had basically sabotaged their entire fucking lead on everyone else that they'd built alongside Celtic. The difference this time around is obviously the fact that Celtic's not really firing on all cylinders yet. Kind of happens when you take away some of the main fucking components of what makes a car run. Took the engine out of the team and couldn't, especially in the attacking drive down that right hand side. Could be more strikers to come off the bench when we need them. Nah, you're definitely not wrong there, Chief. Again, I'm not miserably disappointed, but I'm not surprised. That's the thing. It's just like you kind of learn to just accept that it's stale as shit. You know what I mean? I feel like a few layers of this club need to sit down and figure their shit out for the communal cause. McGregor, please, doesn't opt to shoot, but it's still dangerous enough to be problematic in Acho. Literally the carbon copy crossy about Hatate did about a minute ago. And he actually was trying to claim it came off of someone for a corner. It didn't look like it in real time. One away for 20, we'll take that, I suppose. Small victories and all that. Looks like they're going to be taking their striker off. Murray seems to be exiting the field. Skeeny's captain band over before he departs. There's going to be Ashley Hay that comes on for a minute. Hey. If Dundee can score 6 more goals, they will overtake Rangers in the league. Fascinating fact, David, but I don't think that's going to happen. We're shite, but we're not dreadful. Can see us scoring a bit too late. I feel like that's probably going to be the theme of the day, man. I'd say best case scenario, we can maybe get a draw out of this. Like, I'm not even visualising a scenario where we actually win. Maybe we get a point. That's if we start getting shots in target, but we're not even really getting shots. Crosses into the box and nobody's getting on the end of. Sure. Jesus, that could have been slightly calmer, but fair enough, Carter. Got some back for Schmeichel. Maybe we can go a bit further forward on the break. It's an awkward bounce tail, and he's going to have a bit of pressure on him from that. Calmly gets it back towards Skills though, so give him credit where it's due. Dundee will now be understandably sit deep. Yeah, 100%. We kind of discussed it at half time, but it's pretty much their whole shtick now. They'll protect what they have. They will take, even worst case scenario, they'll take a point for this game. like that for McGregor. Kind of forces his way in. Forrest, good pass inside. Negrin does well to dance around. And he actually doesn't sort his feet out, but it's still dangerous. Good pass for Tierney. Good shot for Rio. It's a little bit better, but again, it's the same fucking issue where they seem to forget that you have to aim between the posts rather than either side on the out. On the outer ridges. It was a good attempt, man. You can see what he was trying to do. Pick that far corner, hit it hard and low. Just put a bit too much power on it, you have to say. That's what Jan could have done in the first half for a much better shot. You take a draw, but I didn't think you would be saying that 11:59. No, I feel like a lot of people would be in the same boat. There's your stats for second half possession. We've played 13 minutes and Dundee have had 6% of the ball. That tells you exactly what you would expect. Remember how I said this could genuinely be one of those games where Celtic have 85% possession and we have nothing to show for it. Yeah, it's no good. It's no good at all. Again, it's just all the overclock passes into the box. How about you don't fucking do that and stop, because it's not working the first 50 fucking times, so why keep doing it? Rodgers, mate, you need to fucking change your tactics, or more importantly, just fucking take yourself outside the stadium, get in your car and drive home. Just let the assistant manager fucking deal with this shit, because like what's the point? It's the same side to side shit. You've changed the formation, that's about it. Like there's no change in creative approach in the attack. It's still the same side to side, get out to the wings, maybe they cut in and get the ball across, which is cleared away by the first Dundee defender, or alternatively every now and then they'll step inside and cross it and it'll just loop over everybody and out for a fucking goal kick. Like I said, we're still playing with that target system that worked with Ida without a target man that's even remotely close to Ida in terms of height. It's just not going to fucking work. More importantly, you've got people like fucking Iniacho crossing the ball into the box. It's just so dumb. So we've got some changes coming on. McCowan and Barlick, ironically two of the fucking names that I said should have been on from the start. Looks like Dundee have a chance from a throw in here. They've had basically nothing this entire half, so wouldn't be too worried about this. I am fucking no way, man. Jesus Christ, it actually nearly found a way in, but because it didn't go on target, it doesn't magically find a way past Casper. But it was a chance. It was Hay that was on the end of it, the substitute that just came on for Murray. It was another really good flick on for Robertson. Been very good. It just kind of grazed the far post on the way past. So you can technically say Dundee have hit the post now as well. So we can't even use that as an excuse. Well, where the hell do you want them to be there, Coffee? That's good, Rio. Slightly okay. Maybe a passing behind would be nice. No, of course not. What the fuck was I expecting? Anything half decent is just off the table right now, isn't it? Boys, stop. They just got to stop allowing flick-ons in that box. And try and prevent that from happening on the other end. That's good fee, but again, you're going to do too much and drive to the byline and get nothing out of it, aren't you? I don't know what happened there. Apparently it was still in play. I thought it went out, I'll be real. Fair enough. Could be a corner kick, and it is a corner kick. There's a few half-hearted appeals for Dundee in their back line, but I don't think there's too much wrong with it. Definitely a corner, never mind. Negrin whipped in. Half dangerous looking ball. I don't know what the fuck Iniacho was doing, but either way it's blocked by McCracken. Just maybe takes an extra half a second and it allows McCracken to just kind of go and close the space down in the end. It's actually a really good save for the keeper, give him credit where it's due. Tying in, another clearance away by Dundee. Just really bad performance from us on all goddamn fronts. Defensively stagnant and creatively non-existent. It's just genuinely not good at all. True, I don't really even disagree with that to some extent, but there's a bit more to that than that. Well, Tenecte is off for McCowan and Negrin is off for Balikwisha, so I'm really confused about what the game plan is. I'm going to guess McCowan will be pushed a lot further up then. Well, it already looks like he's a lot further up. There's a chance for surely a goal here. No! Of fucking course not. Laid on a plate and he takes an extra touch for some fucking reason. Did you need to? Did you absolutely have to do that? Oh, it's just such a shit first touch as well. It's even worse, man. Fucking diabolical. It has to be said. It's another sitter. We've missed 3 now. If we were just half competent at finishing, this wouldn't even fucking matter. We'd be winning, but no. Just all the needless extra wee touches, that's what's causing us problems. Same as always. Jesus Christ, boys. Eventually the foul's given the other way, man. I am stressed out my tits. Why have I been subjected to this? After pulling an all-nighter to fucking do this stream. Fabulous, thanks. I don't know if Crowtails is in here, but I think our money is more than safe, lad. Not that I'd want it even if we do win, because it would feel like fucking daylight robbery at this point. Run it forward, ball and behind, maybe a roll over, yes, something, no, bounces out, corner kick, maybe we can get something going from it. Let's see, corner kick whipped in, not too threatening, but out on the edge of the area. McGregor should have a hit here, deflected out straight away. God fucking damn it, 5 points behind Hearts, trust me, it's not good at all. I just got a barrage of messages all through once, so done. Ah, definitely not, man. A draw at best, and that's if we score in the next 10 minutes. It's another deflection. Corner kick number however many. Again, we've had so many fucking shots, but I think we've genuinely had 1 on target. It's horrifically bad, man. Whipped in, dangerous, and it's another weird pop off the head of Carter Vickers. You seem to only be good at redirecting it at your own goal, you prick. Good stuff. So what was the point of spending fucking 4.5, 5 million on Trusty then? What, if we're not going to play the guy? He just reacts way later than he should. He has the right idea, gets into the right position, but you have to say it's another missed chance. It's just so I don't know how many times I need to say the same 2-3 things. Celtic get into good position, fucked it up, back to square one. That's I could literally just say the same 2 things over and over again like a fucking AI. And it would make sense. Would you take Ange back? No. Nah, not at all, man. That'd be like taking your ex back after she's done some wild shit, you know. I feel like if we're getting rid of Rodgers on short notice, potentially, maybe, I don't know, but I don't see us doing that, so realistically, not going to happen. I don't know why we're talking about that. I don't think Rodgers would be getting sacked over 1 or 2 iffy results. Can we really blame the board? Yes. I don't even need to read the rest of the question. The lack of investment means that the team on the field isn't as good as it could be. And more importantly, for the main concern which most of us had was the squad depth, which clearly has been imprinted here because a couple of players are out injured, and all of a sudden you've got Young and Forrest predominantly being our key attackers, and that is not ideal. So when January comes around, it's either they get their finger out their arses, or chances are, well, the board are going to have a couple of complicated meetings coming up for sure. The only threat would be the terrible European results killing the coefficient core. Who knows? Maybe if we get a win against Sturmgras, it puts a slight kick of life back into us, but I don't really see that happening until we get a couple of players back for injury. Like, I feel when we get Johnston and Jota back and they're firing on all cylinders, Celtic will look like a totally different side. But right now we just don't really have depth in the kind of key areas that we should realistically have them on. It's just really disappointing in that sense. Can't argue with it, but nonetheless. Carl Vickers plays out towards our right hand side. It's a good touch in, to be fair. Can't enough for Forrest. Brendan's off screen. I wouldn't be too surprised, honestly, be those monkey fists. Parnley's a penalty. Hold on. Something's happened. I think people might be 30 odd seconds ahead of me and balls into space. That's an awkward one, and it might be a penalty by the way, and it is. Okay. This is interesting. I mean, it's hard to tell exactly what happened at first there. I guess the replay will clarify, but I think it comes off the outside party's hand when Rio shoots it. First angle doesn't really confirm. You know, nah, it's off his hand. it's a penalty. There's no way that doesn't stand. I think Celtic let the wrong players go. A few of them definitely. Kuhn, O'Reilly, 100%. Yeah, I thought it came off his chest at first, but it kind of, yeah, it's cannon right off his wrist. Or does it come off his face? Like, this is what I'm saying. It's so hard to tell with specific angles. It looks like it comes off it like here in one or two of them, and then on others it looks like it comes off his jaw. I think it will depend on what the referee gets as a view. If he goes over to the monitor at all, it's so difficult to tell there. Because in one angle it looks right there, yeah, it looks like it comes off his arm, and that one it looks like it also comes off his arm, and then in that one it's like it's off his face and then off onto his arm. And if it's deflected contact, then I don't think there'd be enough of a reason to give a penalty. But then again, if that's the case, then it would just make it so much funnier how Iniacho's goal got disallowed against Braga when apparently the slightest amount of contact after it deflected off another part of the body was enough to fucking cancel it out. They're checking. Honestly, wouldn't be too surprised if they disallowed it. It would kind of just add to the sheer shite of this game, realistically. Who knows, we might get something. I love when it takes them 10 minutes. Like, this should be really straightforward. Do I need to come to the monitor to look at this with my own eyes? Aye, walk over and check. Like, why are you fucking standing there like a tool bag taking 10 minutes? Class. Perfect time for you to do this shit. It's always the same fucking crap. Well, I mean, he's looking. But I don't think there'll be too much in it, honestly. It'll depend on whatever angle he gets. 83% possession and we're down 2-0. Yep, It's not about how much of a ball you have, it's what you do with it. And Dundee have been pretty effective for all intents and purposes. So they'll try to slow it down, and because yeah, from that angle it looks like it comes off the underside, and then for that angle it's half his face. It's so fucking hard to tell. Fair enough though. No penalty. Can't argue it too much. At least we'll get another minute or two of VAR after it. It's another typical one. You have a feeling if that was the other way around, they would have found a way to give it. But I think for that angle, yeah, it looks like it hits his face and then rolls off his arm at worst for Dundee, so I think they're fine no matter what. No arguments with that. More than fair. Would have been nice if we got a wee bit of cheese go away with the amount of VAR decisions that tend to go against us just for the vibes recently, but fair enough at the same time. So Wesley's going to be another change for Dundee. Another Robertson takes to the field in Finlay. You don't need big name players in Scotland, you need great young footballers, talent, skills, attitude, and that doesn't necessarily come with the big expensive names. True. Solid good foundational academies that actually attract the youth players from around the country. That's not a full referee, that's a bit weak. Hearts now odds on to win the league. I don't understand, I would not take that bet right now. Again, if they're 10 points ahead and it's January, different story, 100%. But I feel like even the most sensible Hearts fans will be like, nah, we don't want to do an Aberdeen, we don't want to get too cocky, and then we start flushing out results as soon as November hits. They need to keep their current pace until December while Celtic continue to go in whatever trajectory this shit is. It's good for Forest, I respect that. But unless a fucking throw-in for Dundee, it's just everything's going their way now. How lovely. Well, this is fun. I think this might definitely need to go into the members only stream tab. That's a thing I've been thinking about doing as well, by the way, with all my older streams for previous seasons. Maybe not last season, maybe most of the ones for this season I'll keep up honestly, but I'm going to need to start taking a few of them down or putting them onto the membership page thing. Don't even blame you, Tequila Bros. You enjoy yourself, man. Salvage your day. For the love of Christ, man. Make it somewhat alright. You have a nice one, man. I appreciate you stopping in nonetheless. 15 minutes left in this one, give or take, with the additional time, I would say. That VR chat, you'd say there'll be at least another minute or two on top of the normal 2 additional minutes that you tend to get. I'm ready to watch this. Could see another. I was joking, fuck's sake, man. I was joking. Get it away, thank you, Christ. Bomb scares, man. What are you saying, man? That's just bad. That is a horrifically bad theory. If you want to attract good players, the last thing you want to be is bad. I think it's just a master stroke to be like, yeah, let's give other teams a chance, let them have hope, and then we'll switch on in January. Do like a reverse of what we usually do. It's not panic stations just yet, but it's very worrying. Oh, there's another chance it's probably going to go missing. Are you fucking kidding me? This is what I'm saying. Sometimes it just genuinely feels like it's one of those games of FIFA where you do everything right, but the result just isn't going to go your way.
They get so lucky with that deflection off the back of his arse there, because it should have been a goal. But the deflection just goes past the near post. We've got the corner in, and apparently it's been held up for something. The referee's decided to blow the whistle right as the ball came in. Cheers for that, lad. You had Celtic to win. We've been over this, guys. Never betting Celtic or Rangers right now. No, because they would all be sitting in a hospital contracting some form of unknown disease, probably. Ball in the box. And the Archo's down now. Fuck off. It's the last thing we need to see is another player down holding their fucking leg. I swear to God, man. Please get up. He was about 20 miles offside. Maybe could have been on there. Doesn't look like he goes down really hard, but he does go for his knee. Like the second he touches the ground. That's not promising. Yeah, Rio really should have got a goal there. It was a great cut back for Tierney. Lovely little flick across from McCowan, and Rio does nothing wrong. He pits it beautifully. It just comes off the... I thought it was the arse. It was like the kind of upper thigh of Graham, and it just bounced out the far side off the post, well, beside the post. I have a feeling the rest of this game is going to be very, very bad. No way. Is that like an evil version of Kaz? No way. I don't believe it. 2-0. I know. It's almost as if football teams can lose. Unbelievable, I know. Nah, we've been shite. I'm not even going to lie. Our finishing has been woeful. And when we have actually got shots on target, our goalkeeper's been respectable, our defenders have been clutch. Can't argue with the way they defended. We all knew it was coming when the second half started. Like I said, Celtic were going to push up towards 85% possession, probably double our shot count and still end up with fuck all. So far, that's exactly what's happened. I'm not surprised by this too much at all. But maybe just a sign of life to make the game interesting for the last 5-10 minutes would be fucking nice. Points still would be okay. But we would need a goal soon. Pretty much in the next few minutes. But we're just side to siding it. It's the same tactics. Like we're changing the formation, but we're just doing the same shit. Scales. Switch. Ball in. Could have been potentially threatening, but it was never going to be too bad. Aberdeen didn't have Tony Bloom in Jamestown Analytics like Melbourne Victory. I don't know why you're talking about Aberdeen. I mean, last season, sure, I guess you can make the case. Why are they bringing on in Chelsea now? Rio's off for Arn. Rio just kind of pulls his shirt off in frustration. I feel like he just wants to get down the tunnel. Good ball into space. If you want to shift it now, would be the fucking course you don't. That's typical. Get into the box and then we just do that classic. Yeah, cut it back to the edge of the area and then side to side it again. Great. Smashing. Love to see it. Maybe a chance here. Iniacho. I don't know how many times I've seen that same ball be lifted up and over everyone. Like, I can understand his frustration, but you're a fucking striker, lad. Maybe go for goal in that scenario. You can't shoot. It's an option. Bad. I don't know, if I was a Dundee player and they'd offered that, I'd deliberately do everything I can to throw the game. I feel like the SFA would understand, like, yeah, nah, can't allow that. I wouldn't, again, I don't know why people are like, it's alright, we're in October. You still have like about 70% of the season left. Like I said, if we're doing this and it's the same scenario when we're in January, like the end of January, sure, I'll be concerned. I'll be like, fuck, right, okay. Now we're in a bad spot. But we've came back for worse margins, so I ain't too worried as of now. The Kraken's in his sleeping bag. I know he'll be McCracken into his fucking tea at half time, realising he could probably just put his feet up. And to be fair, he probably could have. Dundee have been just about as effective with 18% of the ball as we have with 82, so smashing. The good news is Dundee are wasting a lot of time over the last few minutes, so there will be about 5 additional minutes. So if we do grab one pretty much, I'd say, right before the 90th, then we would have a slight chance to maybe grab a late equaliser, but that's me being as optimistic as fucking possible. Based on what I've seen, you'd be lucky if we get maybe another shot on target and that's it, full stop. Nice for skills, give him credit there. Decent for Tierney, Balikwisha tries to go around. Gets wiped out, referee ain't interested, goal kick. Yay. Oh, I mean it's a good kick up the arse I suppose. If you're wanting a wake up call, it's better to get it in the early stages of the season than late. As it stands right now, it would have been, we would have drawn twice and lost once, because we drew 0-0 with Hibs, 0-0 with Hughes, and obviously that 2-0 loss that we're experiencing now. That's already 7 dropped points, basically in as many match days. Fair enough, David, fair enough. You're not wrong though. Well, throwing a fucking hot dog down an alleyway, that's a good pass for McKibben. If he wants to try and shimmy it, does eventually. Nice, lovely Travella pass for Forrest actually. Probably the only thing that slightly surprised me. McGregor does well to funnel that out to Balikwisha. Maybe there's a run on the inside. There is a run on the inside, but equally well defended by Dundee. Pressure's on, but we get it out thrown at least, so there's some form of minor stay that we can get going. Oof. We've got another one of the last changes on. Ingram is on for right. I think there's another striker for Dundee, so just physicality and height to stop crosses into the box, I'd imagine. I don't mind that. If we can get a shot away, we do. Get the ball down, it's not cleared away. McGregor does well to kind of force the issue, but again just pounces the way of Dundee. It really feels like a game of sliders, man. Makes you realise that FIFA isn't actually all that disaccurate sometimes. It's just you get shit like this and you're like, huh. Celtic can obviously get better, but the thing is with the players that my brain's fucking lapsed. Let me take a second to read that again, because it just literally disappeared while I was mid-sentence. So they can obviously get better, but the thing is with the players Jamestown Analytics is found for Hearts, some not even playing yet, a decent manager on the Energized fan base. Why would they be falling off? Simple, depth. Dundee have a great, not Dundee, fucking Hearts have a great starting 11 and 1 or 2 alright depth pieces, but it's the same kind of issue we're having. Well, 1 or 2 injuries to 1 or 2 players completely dismantles their season. They're in a similar position that they are now. When January hits and they do some strengthening, then yeah, you can genuinely make a case for it, but they're treading the same waters that a lot of teams that are in the top 6 usually tend to. Because most teams, good or bad, always have drops off, they always have dips and dives, and again, think about the amount of times that Hearts have had to grab things late. They've already had to do it in 3 or 4 games this season, and if they didn't grab those points, then Celtic wouldn't be too much worried. Just simply you get some luck go your way sometimes you get it go against you, but Celtic still have time. But not a lot of it. They would basically need to beat Hearts. Hearts would be the minimum. You'd need to get a result against them. That's straight up as simple as it gets. You need to close the gap to like 1 or 2 games, because you know if Hearts draw another match afterwards and then Celtic win, everything's immediately reversed in 2 match days. So it's not as if it's problematic right now. Like I said, it's definitely not red flag or anything, but you know, it's time that the players and the manager kind of sit up and take notice. There was a break for Dundee there, but there wasn't really too much of a threat on the end of the pass. Thankfully for us, and wouldn't you know it, like fucking woodwork, another player hits the deck with another good leg injury. Fair enough. Well, Casper's in the books. He's got a yellow. Yelling at the referee. Right, man, come on. Just a goal for pride, maybe. Wow. JK, unless. Not expecting it at this point. Game is well and truly done. I feel like if you're a Dundee fan, you'll be pretty contently happy with this performance. Not overall convincing, but they did what they had to do. That header for Robertson opened up the scoring. Obviously, Carter Vickers' deflected bounce into the net didn't exactly do us any extra favours, but we haven't been able to put one in their net. That's been the problem. As always, just lack of goal scoring options, and when we do get into the fucking areas, we're just not taking the chances. It's been so lacklustre, man. There's a half chance, there's another clearance. I think that wasn't off the line, but it was certainly around that type of territory. It was in the 6-yard box for sure. And they try and break away. There's a 5-minute stint of additional time to be played. I'll be ending the stream pretty soon after this because, bro. Ain't too much to really add on after this. We'll definitely be live for the game against Sturmgrass, though, that's for sure. I'll cover that match. Maybe the horse one after it. I think the one thing I'll say is that the one match that I might miss next month for sure is the game against Michelin. Only just because I have a lot of stuff going on the week beforehand. As far as the game, nah, he's probably just sleeping. Probably a good thing that he did. First win since 1988. No, well, to be fair, Dundee have been doing that a few times, right? Surprising people and grabbing wins at places and against teams that they usually don't. It's good for Billy Wisher. Something at least, it's an opportunity. It's a good save from McCracken. At least the keeper did actually have to make a save. It was a half decent opportunity. You can give credit to Billy Wisher. He does well to make the opportunity, and it was not a bad crack. If it went in, it would have actually been a lovely goal, but no dice, sadly. That's what it is. Into the box, not too threatening. Maybe we get a knock on here. Awkward. Skills just lets it roll past. I'm thinking maybe Carter Vickers could get something on it, but cleared away by Dundee in the end. McGregor sipes it across for Scales. Just one for Pride, boys. That'd be nice. Here's in gels. I want to clarify for anyone that's new here, by the way, I know it's pronounced Engels, but I call him a Giles. And then, oh, that's another opportunity that goes missing and wide of the target, and he actually's missed another one. Not good. Not good at all. Fair enough, though. And the arguments with it, it's just been very, very stale. It's just been so exceptionally stale. Don't know why you're clapping, Rogers. It's like, what the fuck do you have to clap at this point? You've literally just watched your overpriced posse of pricks just miss opportunity after opportunity and somehow not get a goal in this game. got a long switch out wide, maybe something gets over everyone, but Willie should as well keep it in, and apparently it's off. No, it's a foul, apparently, even fucking more stupid, fair enough. True, but a few of the players have definitely got confidence knocks about them right now. There's a few players who you should say that honestly really maybe might not be deserving of getting stars after this type of performance, but nonetheless, it's just another classic nail in the fucking proverbial coffin of this season. Like I said, the next game against Sturmgras is massive for European reasons, and the next league game against Hearts is massive for domestic reasons. The next two games will make a break for us, and we need to win them both. This was meant to be a tee-up match if you thought about it like that, and yeah, no, this is like a triple bogey but worse. Maybe I'll late fill though. No, apparently it's probably going to be the last opportunity of this one. Just about to head past the 95th here, and Gilles is going to be teeing up to swing the last ball in. Maybe there's a goal for pride, that'd be nice. No, same looping shit that just leads to nothing. I don't understand why Kenny's getting a fucking start in the first place. Dude just came on and done pretty much nothing. But that's the 95 been and gone, so we're just waiting on the referee's whistle. Thankfully it's over at some point soon. Thank you fucking Christ, it's done. The suffering is over, at the very least. We lose, somehow. I'm not surprised, but I'm fucking really just confused at how we lose games like this. It's incredible. But fair enough, Dundee get 3 points, and 3 big points for their season as a whole, and it takes away 3 points that Celtic could have really fucking used in the hunt to keep pace with Hearts, but nonetheless, it is what it is. Give credit to Dundee, maybe not for their second half performance. It was a lot less grit and grind than it was in the first, but the first 45 minutes were more than justifiable enough to say why they probably got across the line. It was a fair enough result, but can't argue it too much. If you want to look at the league table, it's not really good looking for us, but with that loss it means that the gap is sustained. There's about as much distance between us and Hearts as there is between Hibs and us, so definitely some work to do in the next match against, well, I mean, you know, the next two matches, like I said, Sturmgras is there as well. Kind of bring that one up momentarily, but the kind of main thing that I want to bring up is the next game, in the domestic league. If I'm up early, because again I had to pull an all-nighter to do this because of how fucked my sleeping pattern is. Maybe I'll do the same next week, who knows, honestly, but yeah, we need to beat them next time, straight up, ideally. We have to kind of at least put the knock on them. Hearts are the only team that remain undefeated after 8 match days, so hopefully we can at least spoil their party a little bit and take that away for them. But there's a game in between that's arguably just as important for our season contextually, and that's the game against Sturmgras. They're a team that are above us and do have about as many points as we're trying to chase in. So one would overhop them. We would jump above them, which would be quite nice if we could do something like that. But based on the way we've fucking played the day, it's going to take a miracle performance to get that going. We need our key players back, man. We need Jota, we need Johnston, we need Maeda. It's so still. I'll catch you after, Kevin. It's a pleasure to have you in here, brother. First one since 1990. I mean, it's probably because they're a community club, right? They don't have a lot of money to go around, so any big one like that, sure, like they'll have their day. They'll kind of, you know, every dog does, but like I said, it's them capitalising when we're playing probably the worst football we've played in a long ass time. So kind of you know, have to keep that in mind. But if you want to join us for the next stream, you can. That'll be on the 23rd of August. Not too long from now, about 4 days. I think it's Thursday. So you can join us for that if you would like to. You're more than welcome to do so. I'm not really going to waste too much time with you know,
end of stream jazz. I'll quickly check to see if we gained any extra subscribers. I highly doubt it. It's been a very stale stream just in a lot of aspects. We did not, so fair enough, I guess. Yeah, definitely won't be doing very many 12 PM kickoffs after this one. Holy shit, what a fucking flop of a performance. I can't say there's anyone that's worthy of even being considered man of the match. The only player that slightly improved was Rio, and even then that's being very about it. Definitely something along those lines, guys. Definitely. I'll catch you next week, Coffee Mate. Pleasure to have you in here as always, lad. Hope you enjoy yourself. I'm going to get the outro music ready because we're bailing out pretty soon after this one. Still have things to do before I can go to bed. Right, well, that's basically all the major things done and dusted. Like I said, if you want to join us for the next one, 23rd, you can do so. Anyone that's joined us for any part of this stream, sorry that you've had to suffer alongside, but you've been appreciated nonetheless. So it's you know, it's one of those, I guess, right? You have to just take on the chin and then bounce on for it. It's not the greatest performance in the world, but again, it's just contextually, we didn't take our chances, missed a bunch of sitters in the actual at the post. Yang missed a sitter, Tierney missed a sitter, and they actually missed two really good chances in the second half. Rio had that fucking deflected shot that should have gone in off the back arse. He got damn fucking, who was it, Graham? That save at the end as well for McCracken. Like, yeah, I mean, you have to give credit to Dundee, they defended where they had to. But yeah, like I said, you can join us for that game against Sturmgrass if you would like to. I don't really know what else to add to this, to be honest with you. Very, very low energy type of stream, I suppose, but as what it is. I guess that's kind of how it goes sometimes. Nonetheless, vibes. I suppose that's what being awake for 36 hours does for you. Class. Bring back Ange Ball. Just bring something new entirely, man. Just something fun to watch, ideally. But you all take it easy. It's been a pleasure as always. Yeah. Damn. Celtic are still the best goddamn team in the world, though. That will never change. We'll see you again on the 23rd when hopefully we can actually get a win and some smiles back on our faces just for the sake of fucking hope for the season. Because if we lose against Sturmgrass, then yeah, I might honestly consider the European season a write-off already, to be honest. Nonetheless, but enjoy the rest of your weekends, boys. Don't let this result ruin it, because like I said, Celtic are still the best team in the world. I'll catch you in the next stream. Just take it easy. Until then, hail hail and have a good one.